piston is in, ready to go back in again. We should be alright then. Hopefully with a new piston we should be all good to go. So there we go, we've got ourselves a brand new piston and rings in there. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention to you, I think I've mentioned it in every single engine rebuild video I've done, and piston install I've done. And when you put the new piston in, before you put the bore on it, you must make sure you get some oil, just either 2-stroke oil or 1540 or 530. I think I got 530 in here. Just put that and smear it around the piston and smear it around the inside of the bore. Make sure it's plenty lubricated so when it slides in there, and for when it first starts up, there's plenty of lubrication in there. Don't matter what type of oil you use. There, so just remember to do that and you'll be hunky-dory. And always, I always go on about it, but remember to make sure you do the bolts up in a cross pattern. That one, that one, that one, that one, or that one, that one, that one, that one. Doesn't matter, as long as it's cross pattern. Too many people do the top ones up tight and then go down the bottom. It means you've pulled it in not equal. You want to pull that down equally for a good seal. Yeah, but other than that. Right, let's try and give it a start up then, see if it's made a difference. Well, that was a bit of a well, it doesn't matter because I forgot to hit record. I forgot to hit record anyway. But that was a bit of a bad one because it's actually run out of petrol. There you go. There's me. I didn't check. I'm trying to start it up and it's run out of petrol, and I ain't got any petrol here. So oh well, we'll have to do that another day. Right, we're on a completely different day now. I finally got a bit of petrol, so we're going to put some petrol in there and see if it's actually going to make any difference. So I've noticed we've got a bit of a flat tyre, which is always a bit of a pain. Right, so now we've got another issue. I fixed it once, but now it's dripping out of here again. So I've already fixed that once, but looks like I'm going to have to adjust that float again to see, well, what the problem is, because it weren't before. Now it is. Now, if you care to remember, I did a video on adjusting this, and it was alright after that, but now it started doing it again, so I don't really know what the problem is going to be. There you go. I was watching, before I come out here, I had a bit of food and I was watching a few YouTube videos, and that channel come up, one I talked about in the past before, where it's a couple of brothers. They're obviously very rich. I think they're in Wisconsin or whatever, in America somewhere, and they've gone and bought themselves a CR125 now, but they buy all these crap bikes that were all mistreated anyway, and it didn't come with an air filter, cage, you know, and they're riding it up and down, and the clutch is definitely slipping, and it just makes me chuckle, the people that you get about, you know, the people that are about that, they don't realise what is actually going on, you know. They're like, oh, this is really good, but really it ain't, and it's obvious there's a problem. Right, here we go. We've got our float again. Now, I can't remember what I set it to. I think it was 20 mil. I've got a funny feeling that it was 20 mil that I set it to. So I guess I'm going to double check that. But that's obviously too low down, so I'm going to have to readjust it to see if we can get it to a place where it actually works how it's supposed to work. Well, that thing's done my head and it don't want to work. So let's have a look at these, and some of you may have seen my tweet, and where I said they weren't what I was expecting. I bought them from RustySkull, but so I thought they were going to be proper good, but they ain't, because what it is, I don't like this design, but that's just a design. If you don't like a design or something, don't buy the thing. But what really was a bit annoying for me was underneath you got a bolt. You got a bolt that goes through and you got a nut that goes on it, right? So you got a hole in this side of the plastic as well. The hole in the plastic didn't line up with the hole in the top of the plastic, so I had to drill it on both of them. They didn't line up, so that's why I don't think they're very good. You know, I thought they were going to be properly made anyway. Now, Gorilla Glue's coming back into hand again, because I've got these bits of Velcro that I'm sticking on the back of my number plates, so I can take the plates on and off with a bit of Velcro. So when I don't want to be identified, I can take off the number plates and boom, I'm unidentifiable. For those of you that never saw, maybe you was elsewhere and didn't see the video when I was showing it, but this is the crank of that YZ144, or it was a YZ125 before it got bought out. But this is the crank of it. I thought I'd just show it one more time before I chuck it in the bin, because some of you may not have seen it and you might be interested. This is the crank, and this is what happened. That's what happened to it. That's what happens when your big end bearings go. That's and on these ones, I don't know what they're actually called. I call these creamy plastic things stuffers. I don't know where I got that name from, but that's what I call them anyway. And they melt. They often melt when you do a bearing on them. So that was well and truly had it. Let me see the bearing. You can just about see the bearing through that slip. Still with the gooey stuff on it, and you can see the way that it's got hot as well. That bearing got stuck on there, that main bearing. I could get it off with a bit of heat, but I had new bearings anyway, so it didn't matter. That bike's still going strong, by the way. I had a chat with a bloke the other day. So yeah, this is it. It's well and truly gone. So that's going to be going in the bin. I like to keep the pistons though. I like to keep any pistons of any bikes that blow up and I have to replace. This one came out of a Gilera Runner. Anyone may be familiar with them. And what happened was, I think, if I remember, we're talking, how long are we talking now? We're talking 15 years ago. No, we're not. Are we? At least 10 years ago. We're talking at least 10 years ago. This happened, and I think it was the big end bearing that went again, and it caused the piston to come up and hit the spark plug. And you can see where it's hitting the spark plug there, look. Doosh, doosh, doosh. So that's what happened to that one. And this one was a little bit more spectacular. Now, I really can't remember what this came out of. You can see it's sat on the shelf for a long time. It was out of a street bike. I think it may have been a 600, I don't know, I think it was a 600cc street bike. It may have been bigger, I don't know. But all I know was, it was a friend of mine's, and he was doing a burnout, a standing burnout, which you shouldn't do anyway, because you get a huge amount of heat going on in there. And it blew up, and he took out most of his piston. Look at the crown of that. Boom! Yep, it melted. It literally melted. It didn't even, nothing actually gave way. It just melted. It melted 3 of the pistons. I can remember that very well. And I've only got one. because he took the other ones. I wanted to keep one. I kept the worst one. This is the worst one. So yeah. I've only got one ring left on it. I don't know what happened to the other ring. Oh well. So yeah, I like to keep the pistons if I can. Because, well, they're good ornaments, aren't they? I won't be keeping the crank. What am I going to do with that?